Does this interface look familiar to you? No? Well, that's because we're not in Golomina today. You see, about 5 weeks ago, I started playing a game on Steam called Cubetory. It's a factory game where you paint cubes on a small island. I really liked the game, and soon I beat the base game map. Around Christmas last year, Cubetory got an update that allowed players to build their own maps and upload them to the workshop. I played some of them, and it was a lot of fun, so I figured I might even try to create the map myself. However, when I pressed the map editor button in the game, I was negatively surprised about what I found. This editor literally just meant crawling into the JSON files and trying to create more than you break. Of course, skilled people who know what they're doing will still have no issues with this, but I wouldn't call this very accessible either. So, I asked the developer of Cubetory whether he plans to add a more fleshed out editor that actually has a UI and everything. He replied saying that he might work on the JSON validation, but a full editor is out of scope. I decided that I wouldn't have anything against the side project right now, because the work I had to do in Golomina was not the most exciting. To see what that's all about, stick around for my next devlog. I'm probably editing it while you're watching this video. Anyways, I told him that I'll try to make an editor for him, and began the same evening. Now, these next few minutes will be a bit technical, but I'll try to make it quick. Every Cubetory map consists of 6 JSON files that handle a different part of the finished map. For each of these files, I created a UI that visualizes all the data in a somewhat intuitive way to make understanding and editing the files easier. For each file, I analyzed its structure, required dataset and purpose of said sets to understand and create the UI. Due to this, some UIs may be more organized than others, and this was quite hard sometimes because the terrain file, for example, contained a lot of magic numbers, referring to an enum that the developer was nice enough to send me on Discord, which even revealed that the enum was missing some entries. For each UI, it was of course not enough to just design it, I also had to make it work through code. For some, this was easier than the designing. For others, this took several days. Whilst coding, I had to be careful that the final return function must return all values from the UI formatted into a single dictionary that is built up exactly the way that it is in the game files. Even the slightest mistake could ruin the entire map. So, after a few weeks of finicking around in the GD script, I finally had a finished functional version of the Cubetory map editor. Then I went ahead and wrote the documentation explaining all features and functions of the editor and linked it to the editor alongside a link to the Cubetory Cave Discord server. I even managed to convince the developer to add a map builder role. However, I decided I can't just go around handing people Discord server links that are in my Discord, I have to sneak in some self-promotion here. So, in here, somewhere, I'm not gonna tell you where, there will be an Easter egg, or well, there already is an Easter egg that will take you straight to the Oliverse. This is my Discord server where I post insights into the development process of Golomina. I want to build a little community here, so you should join too. Now, you may have noticed that the UI doesn't look very beautiful, and seen as there may be some bugs here and there, this is not the final word. So, if you find any bugs or have any suggestions for extra features, let me know. So yeah, this wraps up this video. Thank you so much for watching and have fun with the Cubetory